Imagine that there were no coyotes howling at the moon in the middle of the night. Imagine that there's no cottonwood trees, leaves rustling in the wind. Imagine not having the giant saguaros standing tall on hillsides. What is it that makes the desert so special to you? What is it that makes it get into your soul?
As my dad was aging, he once said to me, "You know, I've painted no paintings, written no books. What am I going to be remembered for?" It really had an effect on me. And after my work with the Land Trust, it came to me that through my work and the work of hundreds of other people, we've created some special places that will forever be available to the public to see.
My wife Liz and I have been living in the desert here for since 1988. And we came here because of the desert, but we also came here because we found a wonderful community which we wanted to be part of, and one that had a great interest in preserving what we have here.
My name is Bill Ullman. I'm on the board of the Desert Foothills Land Trust, and we're standing in one of our beautiful preserves, the Jewel of the Creek. And that's very important because of the 73 million acres in Arizona, only 1.5% is riparian. So it's imperative that we protect every bit of riparian areas that we can, and that's one of our missions. Not the only one, but a very important one. I also lead hikes. Anyway, as I was saying, this was an ancient place of refuge, this little rock cove, because these were the last stand of true old-growth mesquite trees in this area. And as you might imagine, just think of Indians coming back in here, miners needing a break from the hot sun, coming up here, eating their lunch or whatever they were doing, taking a nap. And so we know it's been used for a long, long time by very different people. 1870s, miners were looking for this. This is quartz. Quartz is a very common mineral. They knew that in quartz were microscopic flakes of gold. And if they could find a way to get enough of this and finding a way of separating the gold from the dust, they then could make a living, or so they thought. This area has never been excavated because the archaeologists know undoubtedly there are human remains that are buried here, and of course you don't want to get involved in that. So, but what happens all the time, people come through here and scuff up the dirt, and you know, we get potsherds, ancient old potsherds. Gosh knows how old that might be. And this is an interesting artifact. This is human produced. And the basic feed for the native people was the agave plant. And as you know, when the agave shoots a spine, it's going to die. And when that happened, they would harvest the heart. They would dig a huge trench, throw all the hearts in there, build a fire, cover it with dirt, and bake it for about 3 days. Then when they got the product out, cut it up, they would chew it. Problem is, agave is fibrous, so this would end up in your mouth, and they would spit this out. So gosh knows how old this is. This could be hundreds and hundreds of years old. If you can, just imagine this place has been inhabited for at least 2,000 years. Paleo Indians, the Hohokam were here, Apache, Yavapai, all kinds of folks at one time or another have found this shelter. So It is quite a historical spot in this part of the world.
My name is Sue Force, and I'm the Chief Development Officer at Desert Foothills Land Trust. So every year we hold an event called Desert Discovery Day, and this is an event for not just children but families and just the general community overall. And the kids all get a passport, and so they get to go from station to station and with their passport, and they get stamped at each station, and they will learn about geology, and we also have a raptor release organization out here, and they learn about the birds. And we have gold panning, so the kids actually get to pan for gold, and they win prizes when they do pan for gold, and they put it in the bag and they take it home with them. And since there's really no cell service out here, it's pretty spotty, it gets the kids off their tablets and off their cell phones and into nature. And it's really educating the next generation about preserving the desert and understanding really just how fragile the Sonoran Desert is.
So it's projected that the population of Arizona is going to double by 2050. It seems unfathomable and unimaginable. But while we welcome our new neighbors, we need to be really mindful of the growth that we're going to see. So I think we can all understand when we're surrounded in places like this, places like the Jewel of the Creek are absolutely worthy of our protection and need to be saved from development. So we really need to focus on smart growth, really being aware of the special places, whether it's riparian areas, which Arizona has lost 98% of those, or wildlife corridors, our iconic view sheds, our amazing cultural and historical resources. All of those deserve our protection, and we can do that while we grow.
Because development is around us, and we have to make sure that we do what we can to protect what we have, and also to have whoever is developing to do it in a way that preserves the desert as much as possible.
At Desert Foothills Land Trust, we not only preserve pristine habitats and beautiful land, but we also afford people to find their own connection to nature. Our Director of Community Engagement, Rachel Stringham, offers a variety of hikes, including bird watching.
Actually, the one on the line right now, that's going to be a white-crowned sparrow. You can tell it's got those stripes going on its head, right? Those tan stripes. So this one is not an adult, it is a juvenile. We've got a cactus wren hanging out on the fence post showing off for us. And then in the brush behind him, you can just barely see the flick of a roadrunner tail going on. And he's got that puffed up, right, because of that puffer jacket, right? I'm having a really hard time telling if this is a male or female because of that puffed up. They've got these incredible sideburns coming down their face, and these really, really pretty stripes. Some scientists hypothesize that's kind of, when football players will put like the eyeliner on, right, to reduce glare. It's a hypothesis that that's what that's there for.
It's said that we protect what we love. We protect our families, our homes, our friends. And in order to love something, you have to be associated with it. As I came here today to the Jewel of the Creek, I was so pleased to see parents bringing their children out on the land, because it's the children who are going to be saving the future. And it's by bringing the children to the land and teaching them to love the land that is the key to future preservation.
So we need to also make sure that we're providing opportunities for kids to find their own connection to nature and pass that torch of conservation on. And I always say this, and it was a quote that I had heard from somebody else, and it resonates so much with me in the work we're doing, is it's not ours, it's just our turn. Please join us today and help us save our beautiful desert.